Hello all you adorable fluff butts out there, Kitthesoulless here, and today I want to talk about monsters. And no, I don't mean from, say, a video game or Dungeons & Dragons. I mean real-world monsters. You see, I've been accused of being a monster myself, which, those who know me know that couldn't be further from the truth. But it got me thinking, what is a monster? And why do people use that label on others so freely? After all, there are people out there that would try to convince you that I'm one of the worst ones imaginable, equal to only Lucifer himself in my depravity. So I did some soul searching, and I'd like to share what I've found with all of you today, so sit back, perk up those ears, and get ready for another wild ride. Now, it's true that I've been accused of many things in my life, and honestly, I'm not surprised about that. I am, after all, a weird individual. When I was younger, when all of the other kids would be outside playing, I'd be up in my room, creating worlds in my mind, populating them with beautiful and terrifying creatures that weren't exactly human, but they weren't exactly alien either. All throughout my time in school, I was that strange kid who was always silently writing stories that no one else would ever read, so honestly, I'm not surprised that other people eventually started telling stories about me. People would say that I was that weird kid that sold his soul to the devil for the ability to sing, or the freak who wanted to diddle animals just because somebody saw me drawing my fursona over my shoulder. This is actually why I became a furry and joined our community. Everywhere else I was just that strange kid who liked Disney movies, or the guy that all the rumors are about. But here in this community, I found a place where I belonged. I didn't care that they called me a monster, or that they would gang up on me and beat me until I was bloody. Because at the end of the day, I found my home. And I knew who my true friends were. Now as an adult, I'd like to think that things have changed, but honestly, I don't think they have. The people who make up stories about me or accuse me of terrifying things are still the ones who will never actually know me as a person. But now it's harder to tell who my true friends are, and sadly, it's gotten harder and harder to not just accept the role of a villain when somebody tries to accuse me of something terrible. After all, if that's all the world is ever going to see of me, then what's the point in trying to be anything different? Now, I will admit, I got lost for a while in my own self-loathing. It's been a long road finding myself again, but thanks to the friends I've met along the way, I can finally start to love myself again, and I can finally admit to myself that they're wrong, and that I'm not the monster that they claim I am. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a monster? Is it someone who has a belief that you don't agree with, or lives a way of life that you don't understand? I've personally been labeled one for many reasons. Because I'm gay, because I'm a furry, because I'm male, or because I don't agree with other people's political leaning. But none of these are what make a monster. Just because someone is different doesn't mean they're evil. But evil does exist, and I've seen it. I've seen people act on their desire to harm others, to ruin their life for any reason. This is what I believe makes a monster. When you lie about others in order to whip the masses up into a rage. When you dehumanize others in order to convince your followers that It's okay to try to harass them into suicide, or when you abuse the people who care about you in order to make yourself feel better about your own shortcomings. You can't then claim to be the good one between you and the people you've hurt. I have been the target of monsters like these in the past, and within the last 3 years, one of them in particular nearly got what they wanted. Meet Junkie, the man who made his fame by lying about others and dehumanizing them. A man who riles up his fans so they'll go and attack others, then hides behind a piss-poor excuse for a disclaimer, feigning innocence and ignorance of the damage he does. The man who, through months upon months of his followers and friends coming to harass me endlessly and tell me how much I deserve to die. The man who nearly got me to kill myself and then, with a smile, asked me what I thought of his method of dehumanizing me. So if you want to know what makes a monster, look no further than him and those like him. Now, for those of you who have been the target of this sort of aggression, I want you to know that even when it feels like the world is ending, you're not alone. There are countless people out there who have suffered just like you, who are more than willing to help you through your darkest moments and remind you that you are loved. And for those of you who have made mistakes in your life, understand that no one is beyond redemption. So if you're willing to admit your faults and walk the long road that lies ahead of you, know that there are always those of us who are willing to walk beside you, if for nothing more than to make the journey a little less lonely. After all, not even a monster should be beyond forgiveness. And Junkie, if you are watching this, know that I forgive you for the pain you've caused me, but understand, I can only speak for myself in that regard.